Hey everybody, welcome on into the Delmarva Sports Insider, the top live and local show dedicated to giving you all local sports. I'm Sports Director Brandon Boss.
What is up? It is yours truly, sports anchor Devin J. Martin. Welcome into the show. We've got a lot to get in tonight, and Brandon, wow, we got a lot to get in tonight. I mean, we just got in the door.
Yeah, exactly. We've been working right up to the last minute. What a week it was.
I know.
Not only the White Marlin Open, we saw a lot of great local winners, but football practice opening up for high school and college. And then we've also got the NFL preseason.
Brandon, we have so many different things going on across just all over the place. I thought about it on the way back from the basketball game that I covered that we're going to get to in a second. I'm like, we have a lot of stuff that we got to talk about today. Just a whole bunch of different things. Basketball, fishing, football, just everything, the whole shebang.
It's a really fun week this week. All great stuff. We're going to talk about a tremendous basketball game that you went to tonight.
It was absolutely insane, Brandon. I mean, it was the basketball showcase in Snow Hill. Some of the best high school talent from our area, Brandon. I'm so glad that I got to go.
Yeah, before we go any further, got to talk about that crazy game and the finish in Snow Hill. It was the Maryland Supreme Showcase featuring the best of the best from both the summer leagues here on the Eastern Shore in Delaware and Maryland. Which state is better? Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah.
The margin between these two teams was so slim, it took some extra time to find that out.
They definitely needed it. Every second counted.
Let's go to those highlights now. Maryland's team was up double digits early. Decatur's David Chandler, he's a go one. He was living at the rim tonight, but this game had a long way to go before it was over. It's Seaford's Brent Ricketts, and he made sure that one, he muscled it to get into the basket. Tribewise right there knocks it down, the floater, and you'll see more from him. And then later on, the good ball movement finding Isaac Roberts for the mid-range jumper. That's what he's known for. Maryland boys looking to run away. Not just yet.
Not just yet. Delaware was hustling back in this game. That give and go right here. Darrell Little gets the easy two with the pass.
That's nice ball movement, too.
It sure was, and that's how they got back in this game. They were down 13 at one point. But look at that. Wise, he gets him to touch earth with the handle, and he finishes the play. That's the most important part. You got to finish the play when you make a highlight reel right there. That would be the play of the game, but the end of this game definitely takes the cake, so we'll get to that later. Now, Tyler Ball trying to stop a Delaware second half run, knocks up and knocks down the pull-up three, but it was too little too late. Delaware went on a 7-0 run. They tied the game up at 45. You see some of the baskets right there. Again, Brandon, they were down at least 13 at one point, but now it was a tie game.
Yeah, they were down over a dozen early, but now we've got a game. 10 little ties. The game again with an isolation bucket.
And then Delaware would go up by 2, and then that free throw right there puts them up 3 with a second left. But the impound right here, look at that. So it gets tipped out of court. No time off the clock. 1 second left. Too much time for Jace Hudson.
Oh, my goodness.
The clutch buzzer-beating 3. They were down 3. He had 1 second, nothing but net. So we go to overtime. His teammates were going crazy.
That was crazy.
It was insane, and that was the momentum they would need. Delaware would score a couple baskets right here. That was the end of the first overtime. It was Jace Hudson again going across the court. But then David Chandler, watch this.
Boom, throw it down, young man.
Oh, my goodness, that was the play. That was the second play of the game after that buzzer beater. That was the momentum breaker right there. That layup right there and that dunk. Maryland would go on to win 70-65. They're waving goodbye. They get bragging rights over Delaware. It was a crazy game to be at,
For
Brandon.
100%, I knew I was going to make the shot. But what was going through my mind, after we made the shot, I was like, yo, we got to win. We got to hustle. We got to do everything we want doing in the previous half. So that's everything that was going through my mind. I had trust in my teammates. I knew we was going to win the game, so that's pretty much it. But we came clutch, got layups, foul shots. Everybody came clutch. Everybody did their part. So
free throws. No, it won't probably show up in the highlights or anything, but free throws was a big part. I think they missed a few down the stretch where we made most of ours in overtime and late in the fourth quarter. And also just finishing around the basket. You know what I mean? Like, we finished very well around the basket overtime, and I told him that, like, we can get to the rim most times we want, just finish around the basket and be very dominant. We got up big, and, you know, I've been trying to tell them just stay composed, keep playing together. You know, energy is big in these type of events. A lot of different players from different teams playing with each other, and just more just play together and play with energy, you know, and we did that throughout the game. a few lucky shots going to come here and there, and that's what happened here, a few buzzer beaters, but playing with energy and playing together.
All right, that was a great basketball game. James Hudson came around that thing. Oh my gosh, the Cox Marlin, Day Chandler, all them great hoopers, man.
You gotta get the MOS in there.
Absolutely, that game was insane. Now let's go back to Monday before we actually dissect what happened tonight. This was the Maryland Premier League champions, Kings and gifted athletes. You see Sakai Smullins, he buried the mid-range J, and then Jaden Spates with a nice drive and finish underneath. And then later, again, Antoine Wilson, he'd go at the top of the key, and he knocks down the easy layup.
Yeah, Antoine Wilson, we saw him right there, driving, kissing it off the glass, and Kings would trim that lead in the second half. Jaden Milks with the beautiful pass underneath to Jaden Handy. But even though the Kings would keep it close, Gifted would never surrender this lead in this one as Smullins buries another shot, and Gifted controlled the tempo from the beginning as they win the Summer League Championship. Final score of 45-38. What a great win for those Bennett kids.
Absolutely. It was a great game. I was surprised. I was pretty surprised that they were able to win that, but they did a very good job in that game.
Yeah, first things first, congratulations to Gifted. I think that we've seen this summer that Bennett's going to be a very tough team to compete with in the Bayside South this year. They have shooters. They got guys down low who can get the job done. And you know what? Other teams are going to have to prove that they can stand up physically to these guys, because I really think that we've got a big three in the Bayside South. Decatur, Bennett, Y-High. Anyone can beat anyone on any given night. And I think that Bennett, it's kind of like the straw poll in Iowa during the presidential campaigns. Right now they're in the lead, but it doesn't really mean much.
And the Clippers do have some big game guards. I mean, you saw what Jace Hudson did today. That was insane. So we were talking about it a little bit. I mean, it was 1 second left.
Right.
They had to, Maryland's team down 3 with 1 second left. They had to, no timeouts. They had to go across the entire court in 1 second.
Yeah.
That's normally impossible.
That's Christian Leitner-like.
Yeah, exactly. So what ended up happening, as you saw in the highlight, he tipped it out of bounds on the defensive end, and that means no time went off the clock.
Right.
And it was
no time goes off the clock, and then they advance the ball all the way up the court.
All the way.
And
which
gives them a chance to inbound the ball right there.
1 second left. And again, 9 times out of 10, maybe 99 times out of 100, you're still not going to be able to get 3 points in that way, but Jace Hudson just made that clutch shot. As you heard him when I talked to him after the game, he said, I knew I was going to make that shot. My teammates put me in that position. I knew it was good. And maybe that's a little bit of bravado right there, but it was nothing but net.
He made it. He can say it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an insane game. I think it was one of the 2 or 3 most.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Right there. Just one of the most exciting games that I went to. And it was just nonstop action as soon as the second half started. Again, Maryland was up about 15, but they blew it. But Delaware came back, and then Delaware just couldn't hold on. It was a lot of free throws as well that Maryland did make, which is why they were able to kind of pull away and hold on to the W.
Yeah, and you know what? This is just fun to watch because you've got all the best talent from around this area between Maryland and Delaware, and it just goes to show that we have quite a few kids that have a lot of talent around this area. Watching Antoine Wilson and Brent Ricketts go at it along with Smullin and all these different guys, and Isaac Robertson. A few of these guys that don't get as much airtime as other guys do on this show, there's a lot of talent. And it was a lot of fun to be there as well.
Absolutely. And there was a lot of kids that didn't even show up today. So we have some stuff going on for Monday when it comes to football. It was Seaford and Sussex Tech. 2 of their players, which is Kareem Bolden and what's his name? I believe
Cash Wise?
No, not Cash Wise. It is Avion Matthews. Excuse me. Yeah, Kareem Bolden and Avion Matthews. Those are 2 of Brent Ricketts' basketball teammates.
He's going to be a good player on the football team as well to watch this year.
So they were at the scrimmage and they didn't have enough time to make it down to Snow Hill for the basketball game. So the Delaware side was missing a couple good players as well, and then obviously Antoine Wilson didn't play for the Maryland side, and they still won the game. So all that talent, all those highlights, and 3 of the best players in both states weren't even there.
Well, for right now, Maryland gets the bragging rights over Delaware. So congratulations to all the Marylanders out there from a fellow Delawarean. But now's a good time to plug in that we will begin our football previews next week with Seaford. So we'll see Avion Matthews next week on Monday. But now let's move on to the White Marlin Open. We have a new first place White Marlin, the Bill Fisher out of Ocean City, Maryland, coming in with a White Marlin weighing in at 77.5 pounds.
Wow.
And you can just see the excitement right here from angler Jeremy Duffy and his boys.
Yeah, I'd be excited too for $4.4 million.
At this point, they didn't know it was $4.4 million. But you know what? They hauled in a fish worth $4.4 million. They said it took about 35 or 40 minutes to get this fish into the boat. And they took over first place in the white marlin category, and they held on to it. And yesterday we saw the Sea Student bringing in a 71.5-pound white marlin. That boat from Southside Place, Texas, wins $120,000 for their second-place fish. So congratulations to the members of the Bill Fisher, $4.4 million richer thanks to that white marlin you see there that they reeled in on the final day.
Wow, just a clutch pickup right there. Now let's check out the other categories in the blue marlin. The Cabana out of Fenwick Island reeling in a 511-pound fish. That was yesterday. That was insane. That fish was huge. They take home just under $1 million. The angler is Bill Britt from Sandy Spring, Maryland. The tuna saw the toughest competition. As I said yesterday, a 247.5-pounder was hauled in by Southern Seas from Ocean City. That netted $940,000 for angler Jason Hirsch from Pennsylvania and his crew. Big Stick out of Ocean City. I think these are the guys that should probably be the angriest. They came in with 246.5-pound tuna. That's 1 pound difference, and that 1 pound difference made up an $840,000 difference in the takeaway. They take home $100,000 for Anderson Bowen's team.
The thing that really stings for Big Stick is they were in the lead for, what, about 30 minutes or about an hour or so, and then all of a sudden Southern Seas comes in with a 247-pounder.
Just right there.
Hey, $100,000 not bad.
Exactly.
All right, in the Wahoo, it's the Jenny Poo from Palm Beach, Florida, with a 71-pounder. Chris Thompson of Mount Airy, Maryland, the angler for the Jenny Poo. And then Water Marlin out of Seaford winning $20,000 for their 54-pound Wahoo for the Seaford resident Hans Mulford and his crew. And then Irene from Florida takes home $24,000 for their 59.5-pound Dolphin. And angler Vernon Merritt Jr. of Chincoteague and his boat, the 10-4 Joker with a 29-pound Dolphin, good for $91,000. There were no swordfish that qualified in this year's tournament, but congratulations to all the winners. And quite a few local boats on there as well. That's great to see.
A lot of different boats from Fenwick Island, Ocean City. You see Seaford, Delaware up there. I'm glad we had a lot of local winners. I know a lot of the different anglers. Again, it was, I believe, 505 or 6 boats that showed up. A lot of them.
Just over 400 boats. But great, 400 boats. Okay. Great to see all these local winners. That'll do it for the A block. When we come back, we've got a brand new After the Whistle with a Decatur graduate who's taking a detour in his football journey, but still has big dreams. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Alec Anderson. I play tight end at Parkside High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.